cheap or expensive? Today I will put myself to the test again and I will guess which of these beers are cheap and which are expensive. Of course I already know that, but I will try them blindly. So we have 4 macro beers, mass-produced beers, and 4 craft beers. I have converted the Swedish prices to US dollars because I think that is what most people can relate to. And the cheapest one is sold for just under $1, 98 cents for the Pripps Blå Export, Pripps Blå Export. And the most expensive one is a brand new beer from Oppigårds brewery called Åsgarn. It's delicious and sold for $2.46. So on this channel I've talked a few times about how you should buy craft beer instead because it tastes so much more. But if I drink them blindly, will I actually be able to tell them apart? They are all in the same style, so pale international lagers or export lagers, or sometimes you call them Euro lagers in the US. The 2 beers in the middle are interesting because Norrlands Guld is the most expensive mass-produced beer, and I actually kind of enjoy this one. It has a nice malt flavor, and maybe it lacks just a little bit on the hop department compared with craft beers. And this one from Stigbergets is just called ÖL, which means beer, and it's a cheap budget beer. I won't wear a blindfold this time, but I will ask my son to pour all the beers, so I don't know which beer is in which glass, of course. So I can still watch the beers, see the appearance and so on, and look at you guys. So I'll be right back. All right, the beers are poured. I'm nervous, but let's have a look at them. Some are a bit darker. These ones, they are actually all a bit darker than I expected. I wonder if Pilsners are usually slightly brighter. But I think what I will do is first just sniff through them. That way I think you can get much of the hop character before you start tasting and everything kind of melts together. A bit subdued, but pretty nice hop character, I think. I might know which beer this is actually. But let's sniff further before I say anything embarrassing. This will be so much more difficult than I thought. As usual. Maybe a bit more of lemon character in that one. This has kind of a sweeter aroma, and you could be fooled. It could be one of the cheapest beer. It could also be one of the most expensive. I'm gonna guess it's a macro lager actually. Number 3. Yeah, coming from 1 and 2, this is a more pleasant smell, definitely. Oh yeah, you get more flowers, flowery honey. This feels more authentic. I was worried there for a while, but now when I start comparing, this is interesting. It has almost caramel aroma, which I don't remember any of the beer having. Okay, number 4. Maybe the brightest one. Yeah, mostly lemon. Not much expression in the hop character, so to speak, but I'm still struggling to guess here, but at some point I need to start guessing. Kind of a similar aroma to number 2. More sweet and caramelly. Interesting. Let's see if we can connect these two when we start tasting. Number 6. Something almost woody, a bit nutty. Yeah, probably more dominating malt aroma in that one. Number 7. Smells just pretty flat. And 8. Yeah. It's more like you finally get some hops. It's almost like it's partially dry hopped compared to the other ones at least. Yeah, lemon, almost lemonade. My first guess would actually be, if I dare to be so brave, Stigbergets ÖL beer, because I often get kind of a lime drink, lime and sugar kind of feeling. Nice. So I like the hop aroma maybe best on number 8 and was it number 3? Yeah, number 3 as well. A bit more expressive, a bit more spring flowers, something more alive, vivid, you know. But we need to start tasting, of course. Fingers crossed, or as we say in Sweden, hold your thumbs, that I don't make an embarrassment of myself. Number 1. Yeah, it's lemony. It feels like authentic hops, that they haven't been cheaping out on the hops, using extracts or using too little. It tastes better than it smelled. It's pretty light, but it has a bit of grainy malt base there as well. It's almost a bit bread crusty, buttery, and with nice herbs as well. It's delicate, it's careful, but it tastes really good. At least I think this is a craft beer. I'm not exactly sure which one, but just to get started, my first guess would be Landsort Lager from Nynäshamn Ångbryggeri. I can change these guesses along the way if I want to, but let's have a sip of water and also a bit of fluffy white bread to neutralize the taste buds. And then number 2, that was the more syrupy one. Oh, I've totally forgot to toast. Skål! Nice bready malt base, but not as much hop character. You don't have the vivid lemon or the herbs in the same way. A little bit of apricot. Yeah, so hops are expensive, and if you want to mass produce a beer, you have to hold down the hop budget. But since I like the malt base, I'm guessing this is Norrlands Guld from Spendrups. So in my opinion, the best macro beer on the table and also the most expensive of the 4. Beer number 3. Was it the one with the nice hop aroma? I'm not sure anymore. Let's try it. Skål. A hard one. The start was, I'm not sure, is this macro, is this micro? But the aftertaste is really nice, and that usually indicates a more expensive beer. Also a bit grainy, doughy malt base. Really nice, but mild. Almost a bit buttery, herbal. There are some lemon there, but not as much as in number 1, for example. Yeah, the aftertaste is really lingering, so I think this is a craft beer as well. I'm going with Nils Åsgarn God Lager, but I can be confusing 1 and 3. Landsort Lager and God Lager are pretty similar. I just had both of them in my top 5 Swedish beers 2024, but I can't really remember now. Maybe they should switch places, but we still have 5 beers to go. Water, breadcrumb, and more water. All right, number 4. Just a little bit of the hop character, the lemon hop character. No off flavors, nothing strange about it, but it's light and it dies off pretty quickly. It's still a bit lightly spicy in the back end, but not a nice herbal lingering effect like in the craft beers. So I think this is a macro lager, and I think it is Pripps Blå Export. Number 5. Back to the syrupy malt base. I hope I get more hop character in the taste. Skål. Yeah, this is biscuity. It's a lemony. It's pretty dry, but has a lingering herbal aftertaste. This could be the most expensive beer on the table, but I don't want to be too hasty. Yeah, because I had this the other day for the first time ever, because it's a brand new beer. If this is the Oppigårds Åsgarn, I didn't sense kind of a biscuity note back then, but more like sweet apricot, almost peachy, a little bit nutty. These are notes that are kind of red flags, usually, but in this case it works. Yeah, you can see I'm almost finishing the glass because I enjoy it, or it intrigues me. It has many layers. Yeah, I'm gonna guess this is Oppigårds Åsgarn. So the Oppigårds glass there. I hope I won't regret that. Number 6. Which one was this? Yeah, the one with almost no aroma. I get something almost a bit smoked. Smoked and fruity, now that I swirl the glass. Very interesting. Let's taste. Skål. Yeah, the aroma was interesting, but the taste again just dies off. A little bit of lemon character, but it feels like some sort of extract more than live hops, so to speak. The lemon stays in the aftertaste, but without any nice herbal notes. Yeah, almost no malt character, a little bit of white bread. But I know what my guess will be. Åbro original. So another macro beer. Number 7, maybe the darkest of the beers. Smells more like sweet, almost overripe stone fruits. A little bit of lemon and herbs, but let's taste. Skål. Yeah. This is why I am suspicious about, sweet apricot peach notes in beer. Actually, the malt base in the finish was actually pretty nice. What? Okay, now I'm confused. The second sip was better. Okay, it's a pretty nice finish actually. It's a bit sugar coated, like sweet bread crust, a bit of herbs, because the start and the middle are a bit flat and boring, but then you have this pretty nice aftertaste. My first instinct was, this is macro, but now with that finish, it could be one of the craft beers actually. Which one though? It has kind of a punchy, sweet apricot note. I'm starting to see the failure again. Oh no. I only remember this much sweet apricot in Sofiero and Oppigårds new beer, Åsgarn. And this can't be Sofiero. I think I'll wait with my guess until I drink the last one. Number 8. Which one was this? Also lemony, limey. Yeah, the one I thought was Stigbergets ÖL. I still think it is that one, according to the aroma at least. But let's try it. Skål. Yeah, I think it's that one. Nice finish, a bit bready, herbal, and this is the beer with the punchiest start. Just lots of lemon lime. It's very zesty, and I love that about beers. Just a personal preference, of course. Many people prefer them drier, but my guess is craft beer and Stigbergets ÖL. Now comes the hard part. I only have Sofiero left to guess on, but I don't like Sofiero. But I did kind of enjoy this one, at least the aftertaste. It's just that I didn't expect that nice bready character in the finish. I can't believe that I'm actually confusing this with Oppigårds beer that was the most expensive one. Let's try the one I thought was Oppigårds one more time and compare. It has a more biscuity character, also more lemony and alive somehow. Yeah, the hops are still lingering. I better be right about this. Yeah, I think I will guess number 7 as Sofiero. It's so strange that I kind of liked it now. But because it is the malt base and not the hops that is lingering, it should suggest it is a macro beer, right? But yeah, I'll ask my son to refill some of the glasses. I will try them through a couple of times and then make a final decision before I find out if I was right. Alright, I've tried them through a couple of more times and I haven't changed anything. I could have mixed up Nynäshamn and Nils Oskar. Maybe they should change place. And I'm still confused about Sofiero, if that is that beer. Well, I'm not totally sure on anything on the table. But yeah, let's fetch the cans and the bottles and see what I got right and what I got wrong. So let's start with the cheapest beer. I guessed number 4 for Pripps Blå Export. And it is number 9. Oh, number 6, of course. Okay, so I guessed Åbro original. So it's not far off. They are both pretty similar macro lagers. So I feel okay about that. The second cheapest one, Sofiero, which I thought was number 7, was actually number 1. Are you kidding me? No, it can't be true. So I guessed USD Landsort Lager, one of my favorite beers. I have failed before many times, but this doesn't feel good. Let's try it one more time, now that I know it's Sofiero. I'm so confused. I don't like it anymore. So either way, I guess I like Sofiero better than I thought. Next beer, Åbro Original. And I guessed, number 6, and we know that that was Pripps Blå, Pripps Blå. And in fact, it was number 4. Okay, where I guessed Pripps Blå. So I just confused number 4 and number 6. That's okay, both are macro lagers and pretty similar. And then we had Norrlands Guld Export, the best macro lager with a nice malt base. I guessed number 2, but in fact it was number 2. There you go, the first correct guess today. Then Stigbergets ÖL, Stigbergets beer, the cheapest of the craft beers. I guessed number 8, and it was number 8. So 2 beers I've had correct at least. Then Nils USD God Lager, I guessed number 3, and it was in fact number 3. Okay, I'm starting to feel a bit better now. And then the second most expensive beer on the table, Landsort Lager, one of my favorites from Nynäshamn Brewery. I guessed number 1, which was incorrect. So it's either 7 or 5. 5 I guessed a craft beer, so I hope it's number 5. It is number 5. Good. And now we come to the most embarrassing part of today. And you note this throughout the video. I really struggle because I guess I had this... I've tried it once already, and I kind of made a description in my head and kind of stuck to it instead of, being spontaneous with the impressions. Because the most expensive beer on the table, Oppigårds Åsgarn, is number 7. And I guessed one of my non-favorite beers, Sofiero. I guess some sort of excuse is that both of these beers are kind of unknown to me. I've tried Sofiero, the macro beer, a couple of times and didn't like it. And Oppigårds Åsgarn is so new, so I haven't been able to meet the acquaintance. But at least you could notice how confused I was, that I actually liked the Sofiero and that it had a nice malt base in the finish. I need to try it one more time now that I know, but first some breadcrumbs. And let's try it. The most expensive beer on the table. If you like malty beers, this is brewed with barke malt, an old traditional Swedish barley. You will like this beer. I just didn't get as much hop character as I thought. Yeah, now that I know, I also get more of the lovely herbal lingering effect in the finish. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this tasting. I wasn't too far off. Most of the guesses were either right or pretty right. It was mostly the two most unknown beers to me that I mixed up. And compared to some other blind tests I've done on this channel, I think I did pretty well. Have you ever tried cheap versus expensive beers in a blind test? Let me know in the comments. More Swedish beer videos in this playlist. Thank you for watching, and remember, drink responsibly!